now rocking with the best. Debates get hot, boy, I am so many fresh. I talk cash money like I'm Birdman. Tackle topic straight on, no swerving. All facts is what I'm serving. No one's better or more deserving than me. I bring that heat like Miami on a whole nother level like Kamotani. I prove points for helping you visualize, using data that's analyzed by eagle eyes. Get your mind right and act like you know. You are now tuned into the Real Untouchable podcast.
Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast, man, with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all, man. I want to talk about Bryant Hornets. All right, Arkansas high school football. We got two powerhouses that's getting ready to go head-to-head this Friday night, and I think that this right here could be the game of the year. Hey, before I get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button, and make sure you all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. But listen, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. We got one of the top teams in Arkansas, the Bryant Hornets, getting ready to travel down to Little Rock, War Memorial Stadium, to face the number one team in the state of Arkansas, which is the Little Rock Parkview Patriots. This team right here is riding a 26-game winning streak. They haven't lost a game in almost 2 years now. And I'm going to tell y'all what this right here reminds me of. It reminds me of last season when the Bryant Hornet was coming in riding a 54-game winning streak. And guess what Parkview did? They went to Bryant and ended that winning streak. Will the same thing happen in this game? I don't know, because the Parkview team is a really, really good team. But listen, before I get started and I get too deep in this right here is a rivalry game. Bryant, one of the top teams in 7A, and then we got Little Rock Parkview, one of the top team in 5A. When I looked at Parkview's schedule, if Parkview wins this game, they are pretty much going to dominate the rest of their schedule. They will probably most likely put the mercy rule on the rest of the team that's on their schedule. Okay, and last season. Now, Bryant, on the other hand, Bryant got a hard schedule. They got Conway, they got Pulaski Academy, they got Little Rock Christian, they got a lot of good teams on that schedule. So this right here is just the beginning of a hard season for this team. But they beat Ben their first game of the season, beat them by 7, came back last week and pretty much dominated. And then we got Parkview, who went down to Melissa, Texas, and won a nail biter, a hell of a game. I watched that game 2 or 3 times. It was a hell of a game. But they showed a lot of heart in that game to finish the game. They made a lot of mistakes in that game, but they still was over. They still overcame, all the mistakes, everything that Melissa wanted to throw at them. They overcame all of that. Now they're playing against this Bryant team, who really feel like they want revenge, and this time they feel like they can end Little Rock Parkview's run. They feel like they can end their streak. Now, will they do it? I don't think they will, because I think that last year's Little Rock Parkview team was good with the quarterback McGee, but this year's team might be a little bit better because they got an older Montario Elston, they got an older Cameron Settles. Okay, they got an older Amarion Robinson. They got an older Murphy. So this team right here is a little bit older, more experienced. Last year's team was, they didn't even know that they weren't supposed to go into Bryant and win. I don't think they knew that, hey, we're supposed to go into the number one team in the state of Arkansas that's riding a 54-game winning streak. I don't think they knew that they were supposed to go into Bryant and beat them on their home field. But they did it. And that's why I think that this team this season, more experienced, more hungry, even though I'm a little worried because last week they had problems with Marmel. Now I'm gonna base that off. I'm gonna say this: the reason I think they had problems with Marmel is because maybe they was looking forward to this Bryant game. Maybe they was looking forward to this rivalry game. That could be what it is. Okay. Now, when I look at this team, last year's game, these two teams went head to head. This right was a hell of a game. First quarter, it was tied. 14-14. Parkview came out and went up 20. It was 28. Pretty much scored 28. They scored 28 points, which was the final score. That's how much they scored the whole game at halftime. So it was 28 to 20 at halftime. And then Bryant came out in the third quarter and scored 7. And then that pretty much was the final score, 28-27. It was a nail biter. It was a hell of a game. I watched that. I watched that game last week. It was a hell of a game. These two teams going head to head, dominating each other. I feel like this game right here could be one of these type of games. If Brian can come out here and make Montario Elston, if he can come out here and make Cameron Settles and Amarion Robinson, if he can come out here and make the quarterback, if he can make these guys uncomfortable. Now, that's a hard job. That's a hard task. I think that Little Rock Parkview could bring them home. This is their last ride for them a three-peat. I think they beat Bryant convincingly. I think it handily. I think they pretty much proved. I'm going to call this game right here where they will win this game by more than 14 points. Y'all can quote me on that. I think Parkview wins this game by more than 14 points. Now, if Parkview comes out there, now it's supposed to be raining and doing other things. Now, the thing about this game right here that I'm worried about was what happened last week when they played against Marmel. Was the turnover. You know, the getting down there to the red zone and not punching it in, kicking field goals. Because one thing Brian's going to bring in this game is a big offensive line. It's a big, slow defensive line, but it's big. That's right there is the one, I think the one position, well, the one unit that they're going to have an advantage because they're going to be bigger. Now, Parkview's going to be smaller, but they're going to be faster. Now, these two teams are going to meet at War Memorial Stadium. That's right there is where Parkview plays at. That's also where they've won the last 2 state championships at. So they're comfortable playing there. This game is going to be packed out, y'all. It's going to be a hell of a game. And I made my prediction already. I think Parkview wins this game. I think they win by more than 14 points. I think Montario Elston going to show up. Money, I think he's going to show up. I think Cameron Settles is going to take one to the house. I think Amarion Robinson might pick one off and take it to the house. But I think that this defense wants to set the tone. I think this defense wants to show everybody that they are the best defense in the state of Arkansas. This right here is the game where they can do it. They went up there to Melissa, Texas, played a hell of a game on defense. But I'm going to tell you what, the one thing that hurt them was Melissa kept getting the big plays with their big wideout. I don't know if Arkansas even got a receiver or 2 receivers like Melissa had that they could throw to. Just throw it up there and they go up there and get it. The way Melissa receivers was doing it. And that's why I think that this game right here could possibly be a blowout. Last year, Bryant was picked to win the game, 82% to 18. This year, it's going to be a whole different ball game because Parkview is the #1 team in the state. And I got a feeling that they're going to come out here and they're going to dominate. Quinn Murphy transferred from JT Robinson, that quarterback. Murphy made a lot of mistakes last week. I didn't like it. I think that, I think he was too hyped up for that game. First game at Parkview playing against the Arkansas school. This right here is a chance where he can show. Now, see, the one thing that Little Rock Parkview had worked for them last year is that they didn't have to question the one most important position, which was the quarterback position. Because they had Eric McGee. I think Eric McGee was the perfect quarterback for that system. He did not make the mistakes. He knew what to do. When he needed to use his legs, he knew to use his legs. And that is the difference between him and Quentin Murphy. Quentin Murphy played at a JT Robinson school, and he was really pretty much the star. Quentin Murphy ain't the star. He's a really good quarterback, but he ain't the star. You got Montario Elston, you got Cameron Settles, and you also got Amarion Robinson with a whole slew of other backs and other weapons that Little Rock Parkview got. So he ain't the star. He just don't need to make the big mistake. As long as Quentin Murphy keep the ball out of the other team's hands and don't make the critical mistake, I think Parkview walks out here convincingly with an easy win. But I think last week, Quentin Murphy, he was a little shaky. But like I said, I'm going to give him a pass. First game going against the Arkansas school, I'm going to give him a pass. But he can't make those mistakes this week. because those mistakes can really cost him if he makes them this week against a very good, a very talented Bryant team. But I'm going to pick Little Rock Parkview to win this game. And I'm going to go with a score of 35-20. 35-20. I said that they will win the game by at least 14 points. I'm saying that they'll win the game by 15 points. So 35-20. Parkview gets the win. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like I said, I've been riding with Parkview for a while now. I think Parkview gets the job done. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Until next time, man, y'all have a great weekend. Hey, make sure y'all come back to the next episode of the Real Untouchable podcast. I will be talking about Shedeur Sanders and why I think it's a bad look what he did in his press conference. I'm gonna show y'all the video. Make sure y'all tune in. Peace.